Hey, I'm Ulrich. I'm Alistair.
I'm Heidi.
I'm Jeremy.
We're Cloud Control.
You're doing 9 shows this time in the US. How is the US market kind of going for you guys?
It's fledgling. So we've hardly spent any time there. So this tour, we're just kind of starting out. The record's not out yet. It's like we're just kind of scoping it out. There is one city where we've sold heaps of tickets.
San
Francisco.
200 tickets?
Yeah, which is pretty sweet.
It's going to be a good show.
That's really good.
Hopefully it'll sell out, which is ridiculous because we haven't been there before.
What do you think is it because it's like a college towns and you've had some college radio players?
We've heard it's like a really good promoter, so someone just must be working really hard.
And a good venue.
And a good venue, yeah.
Have you guys been to San Fran before? Like
No.
separate to tour?
Oh, have you guys?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, I went to
when you
the
were,
zoo.
like, one.
Yeah, I was
I just
was
been
a
to the
wee
zoo
lass.
where we're at.
1 year old. 1 year, even.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
When we last spoke, you were working on the record. Now you can actually talk about the record. It's is it out tomorrow, officially?
It's up next
No,
Friday,
the
the
9th.
9th of
Ninth
August.
of
The 9th, yeah.
So we're still a week away.
Yep.
What have you heard so far? I mean, everyone's starting to get a listen to it. You've played some songs over the weekend.
I feel like the crowds have been fairly friendly, and then review-wise, it's been polarizing.
Yeah.
We've had like some really positive reviews, and then there was one that said the album should have been aborted, like it was a baby that should be aborted.
I
Which
saw that.
I feel
That's-
it's offensive on so many
A
levels.
female,
From female, yeah.
Yeah.
writer as well.
Man.
It's just like heavy.
It's
I
really
mean,
out of order.
People are just cashing in on the crazy quote.
Oh, yeah, on the
Yeah.
like controversy.
Trying to be extreme as they can.
That's very silly.
Shock
isn't it?
journalism right there.
Yeah.
It's a real shame.
It seemed to me she didn't like you guys to begin with, so
Yeah,
why was
let's
she
be
reviewing
honest.
the record?
And she still gave it 2 out of 5. Aborted baby is 0
Zero.
out of
Negative.
anything.
Minus.
Yeah,
Negative.
score.
It's
So look,
traumatic.
it just doesn't make sense.
Wow.
But they've been really good reviews.
Not the
as
reviews
well.
are like everything, but
It's true.
it's at least I don't feel like we're being misunderstood at the moment, which is good.
Splendour crowd was really good.
They gave us a
Really,
glowing
really good.
review.
They
They were
turned up
excellent.
early, which was like, it was surprising. I was kind of like, you just don't know how this is going to go
Yeah,
down.
you expect your tent to sort of fill up as,
you
the set
go
goes
along, and this,
But,
and it's a long way from main stage, the old GW 10.
G-Dubs.
It's right near Yemen Rolls there.
It's true. The biggest draw card at Splendour
Yeah.
2013, Yemen Rolls.
Yeah.
$10.
Second only
Hong
to the
Kong.
organic donuts.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
You know
that's
what
a
I'm
debate.
talking about.
And Beatbox Kitchen.
I know what what's
Wow.
that about?
They do really good veggie burgers, and they have stereo sauce, which I'm pretty sure is yet
Stereo
another
sauce.
name
It's like
for mayo and tomato sauce. You know how many names there are for that sauce?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thousand Island, seafood sauce.
And the voodoo chili as well, which was something along those lines.
Yeah.
Voodoo chili. It's like,
Food
good
chili.
name.
yeah.
Well, the crowd at Splendour was huge, and that stage was a swamp, so it was hard to convince people to go there. But you guys in Snackadactyl were like the biggest. Like, I didn't see any bigger crowds on that stage
Wow.
than those
Cool.
2 sets. You couldn't get anywhere near the tent.
Thanks,
That's
Australia.
Awesome.
And yeah, the new songs sound great live. Can you talk a little bit about the process about how you put this album together in terms of did you just jam or did you play separately or you recorded in caves and there were so many cool things you guys were doing for this record.
There were a lot of different
Did you?
things, yeah. I mean, there were times when me and Jeremy were riding up in the mountains where we did the last album, and then there was a lot of individual people in their homes, like recording by themselves, and then there was a lot of jamming together.
Went to a French island.
Yeah.
That was fun. What else did we do? I think the big one for me was we kind of realised that we needed to spend less time in a horrible, dank basement rehearsal studio.
Yeah.
Kind of more time in lounge rooms.
Inspiring places as well.
Yeah.
Fun places.
Vocals and a guitar, just kind of getting to know your song. Just get to know your song, And I think I learned a lot from that. I think that was good to do.
When you sit down and listen to the record from start to finish, it really does feel like an album. There's a start, there's a middle, there's an end.
Yes.
How much were you thinking about that as you were putting it together? Or is that something that you just got lucky with it?
It just comes out at the end. You can't. I
That's-
reckon we
yeah.
always thought about it, but it's not like you go.
Well, that's more of the like the putting the songs in order, which
Track list.
took us so long.
Oh yeah, that's true.
We deliberated over that for weeks, and really like sweated over that decision.
Yeah.
And we made a last minute. Whose list was it in the end?
It was
We went through every.
I think it
pretty
was your
much
list. Yeah.
Every
It was
order.
Anton's Pizza Special.
Oh, that's
Mediation
right.
was-
Yeah, we even got an outside mediator in to like work
Mediator
through
is
the
a horrible
issues.
word.
Yeah. He's
So
actually
bro.
a really good friend of ours.
Bro,
He's a
who just,
really
like,
good friend.
lives in corporate world, but is great at helping people
Know what they want.
make decisions. Yeah, it kind of helps people find what is.
He came in
inside
at the
them.
end after like these
Yeah,
ridiculous all-night track listing
sessions.
nightmares.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's a hard thing because you put it in order, and then you can't just judge it on paper. You have to listen to it. So imagine having listened to your album for 100 times in the recording studio, and then you have to listen to many variations of how it goes as an album. So if
And
a
you-
lot of people have said that it flows and that it has like a
Yeah.
start, middle, end.
That's
That
really
is a
encouraging for
deliberate-
us. That's like a voluntary
Yeah.
We did
observation.
want to do
Takes
that.
time.
It also does feel funny doing that in a time when albums are, not everybody listens to albums these days.
Yeah.
That makes me sad. We still try and make albums.
I think there's a hardcore contingent that do.
Yeah,
still.
they'll
So-
never die.